So the other day there was an interview of a guy who just has zero common sense. And the guy who is putting the interview on is Chris Cuomo. Don't like him, never liked him. Yeah, he's a fellow gun owner, but he's just been kind of a jackass ever since he stepped foot on the news. He has this guy on who is a Marine. Lots of respect to you, sir, for being a Marine. However, that does not give you the opportunity to be a dumbass. It doesn't. In fact, I know a lot of Marines who would probably go up to you and smack the hell out of you. So why don't we break this down, because this guy needs some help.
Chris, there is no use case for a machine gun in civilian life. Those weapons are designed to kill human beings at range and at scale.
Right, I'm with you. I'm just saying that the bump stock was a pretty popular piece of legislation. The court just shot down the legislation. I get that
it was not legislation. It was a regulation.
Right, but it was pretty popular.
Regulation.
I mean, you had Republicans for it also.
It's popular everywhere common sense Americans traffic. It's not popular inside the House of Representatives, where MAGA Republicans are bought and paid for by the NRA. We've got a bill to ban bump stocks, 130 Democrats, one single solitary Republican on that bill. They're afraid of the NRA, and they're putting the gun lobby's interests above the interests of children and families. Guns are the leading cause of death, for children in this country right now.
See, dude, that's where you're going to lose people. It's just not true. If you pull those stats up, look at the age range. 1 to 19. Now, I can agree that mentally, people don't really grow up until probably mid-20s, low 30s. I'm talking about truly grown up, responsible, got their life together. But is a 19-year-old a kid? Should they be considered a kid for this? Should an 18-year-old? Should a 17-year-old? Should a 16-year-old? No. When I think of a kid, I'm thinking of like 5. Someone who can't go into the bathroom without mommy's help. Someone who still has a diaper on. Somebody who's still breastfeeding. Somebody who can't tie their shoes. Should we continue? But you're talking about an 18-year-old like they're a kid. You know why they choose that age range? Because there are a countless amount of 18, 19, 17, 16-year-olds in the hood who are out there shooting every night. That's why those numbers are like that. If you change the numbers and you go from like 1 to 10, it's gonna be drastically different numbers. But it's okay. Lie to yourself, dude. So the other day I got a text from what looked like my bank saying that my account had been hacked into and that I need to go to this link and enter my username and password in order to unlock it. This is a common scam that people run, and it's one of the reasons why I'm excited to announce today's sponsor, Aura. Aura has one easy-to-use app that takes care of everything in terms of your online safety. What it does is it scans the dark web for your emails, passwords, social security number. It even monitors your credit to make sure you don't have any suspicious credit checks. It also has a VPN to make sure that you're anonymous when you're surfing the web online. Now, you may have an app that does a couple of these different things, but with Aura, you don't have to download and pay for several different apps. It does everything right in one easy-to-use app and at a very affordable price. And right now, I asked Aura to give y'all an amazing deal. Here it is. When you sign up now, they're gonna give you a 14-day free trial. And then after that, you're gonna get up to 63% off. All you have to do is go to aura.com/HDC, enter in your information, and you're gonna get the deal that Aura has given all of you today.
They've become a symbol of individual liberty, which is unfortunate. I'm a gun owner, full disclosure, but it is unfortunate. But I also blame the Democrats a little bit in terms of how they've conducted themselves in the debate. It's one of my two beefs with the Democrats. One is how you talk about guns and where they apply and where they don't. And the second is that you guys gave the Republican Party the American flag as their symbol, which I don't understand why it's now accepted that if people see a flag, they think the person's a Republican. How'd that happen?
I proudly display an American flag at my home, and I agree that patriotism should not be a partisan issue. I will disagree with you on the guns issue, however. The only time the word regulation appears in the Constitution is to describe how we should approach the handling of weapons by the body politic. I served in the Marine Corps for 4.5 years. I know what these weapons can do. I fully support the Second Amendment. The difference is I've just read the darn thing, and I know that it does not give a 19-year-old the right to walk into a Walmart and buy a weapon designed to kill people.
All right, man, so you got the snazzy haircut, the snazzy suit, the tie cinched up. clean shaven, and you think you're just the smartest cookie in the jar, don't you? Well, let's just destroy you right now. How about that? You say that it's not written in the Second Amendment that a 19-year-old can't go into a Walmart and buy a gun. You're right, those words are not specifically written in there. What it does say, though, is it says, shall not be infringed. Anything that you can think up in your head, like, oh, should a 19-year-old be able to own a gun? Oh, should an 18-year-old be able to own a gun? Oh, should they be able to own AR-15s? All of that, it's nonsense, and it's going directly against the Second Amendment. So you sit here and say, well, I support the Second Amendment. Let me be clear on this, because a lot of people don't get this. There is a difference between you supporting and truly believing in the Second Amendment versus just liking guns, just believing in gun ownership. If you say you cherish and support the Second Amendment, that means that you believe it how it's written. There is no fucking changing it, man. You don't have a say in it. None of us do. I don't care if you're Joe Biden. I don't care if you're a homeless dude. I don't care if you're Donald Trump. I don't care who you are. You're not going to go up in front of the American people and say, well, this is my definition of the Second Amendment. You don't get one, man. You either agree with it or you don't. Why is that so hard to understand? It's kind of like two people disagreeing on how to spell the word apple. One guy looks it up in the dictionary and says, okay, that's how it's spelled. The other guy says, you know what? I don't know, man. I just got a funny feeling in my nuts today that it only has one P. So that's what it is to me, and I think we should make it law. Have you ever thought maybe you're just fucking stupid? Have you ever thought maybe your ego is so big that you think that you can change the way something was written hundreds of years ago? Has that ever been a thought? So for the people out there who are like, well, I own guns, but, well, I believe that this person can have a gun, but this person can't. If that's you, understand what you are. You are not a believer in the Second Amendment. You are a believer in a tool. You are a believer in, well, I can own a gun. I like going to the range, but I don't believe in what the Second Amendment is for and what it says people can do and what they can't. Let's draw that line right now.